Many areas along the Atlantic coast of the U.S. are still recovering from hurricane seasons past. That's why our long-range team here at AccuWeather.com took a long look at the 2014 season to try to give people advance notice and prepare for the coming season.
Overall, we are expecting roughly about 10 storms this year. That's including tropical storms and hurricanes. 5 of those we believe will be hurricanes, 2 major hurricanes. Just because the numbers are down doesn't mean we couldn't have more impacts.
Andrew hit landfall August 24th. 1992 hurricane season starts on June 1st, so I mean, you went months with nothing happening, and could have been some complacency. My grandmother lived through Andrew. She lived about 20 miles south of Miami. Andrew made landfall south of her. That put her house in the northern eye wall. Her house likely suffered winds of 200 miles an hour, and that caused all sorts of debris to crash into the house. And my grandmother was huddled in the bathroom with a friend. She would just tell me that the scream of the wind was unbelievable how loud it was. Fortunately, she was in a well-built house, and she made it through unscathed, but no power for a couple of months, no basic utilities for a while. So
power outages and a lack of available supplies following a storm for days on end are one of the reasons why evacuation is so key. And of course, before the evacuation notices even go out, you and your family should have your plan ready to know what to do in case a storm heads your way.
Most people advise that you evacuate as soon as the government asks you to. That way there's less of a problem with everyone evacuating at the same time. Another part of that is, what are you as a person and your family are going to do? You should have basically a kit. You should have, again, materials that you would be able to use at a storm shelter. Pets, for most people, are just like part of the family. And so you need to also have them secure. If you have a major hurricane hitting your coast, you may be in that shelter not for a couple of nights, but maybe several days, maybe weeks.
People definitely, I don't think, were prepared for the ferocity of what Andrew had. I mean, it was the strongest hurricane wind-wise to hit since Camille in the 60s, and Andrew did most of its damage with wind, which is pretty remarkable to create $30 to $40 billion worth of damage on wind alone. The other storms more recently, like Katrina and Sandy, it was all done with water, so Andrew is basically a 25-mile-wide tornado. You could go the entire season. If you have one storm, it's a very inactive season, but you know, if you get a Category 5 hurricane to hit one of the biggest metro areas in the country, it's all you need to have a devastating tropical season.